Behaving Wealthy presents the High Worth Shift podcast. Behaving Wealthy. Be, have wealth. Who do you have to be to have wealth? The only difference between rich and broke is worthiness. Your behaviors and your habits are a reflection of your feelings of worth. I'm Robin A. Young, and I'm here to give you enough simple rich behaviors to increase your worth, your wealth, and your freedom. In fact, my promise to you is that every rich behavior I share could yield you 3 times richer results, creating your high worth shift. Welcome to the High Worth Shift podcast. It's Robin A. Young, certified financial planner and CEO of Behaving Wealthy. And I'm so excited that you've chosen to spend your valuable time with me. I'm delighted to share my money story with you. It's really important that you understand why I do what I do, why I help high income earners turn hard-earned income into worth, wealth, and freedom. Here's Behaving Wealthy's origin story. Before I started Behaving Wealthy, I was a vice president for the largest retirement financial services firm in America. I managed $1 billion for 500 millionaires. Each high net worth individual had to keep at least $2 million of investable assets in our firm. To be clear, investable assets are cash, stocks, bonds, mutual funds, and other marketable investments. This amount does not include your home equity value. I was responsible for creating and maintaining portfolios for my wealthy clients so that they could afford to pay for their future goals. I made sure that they could afford their retirement, eldercare, college, debt repayment, and bucket list goals. I'm very proud that I helped those 500 millionaires add an additional $118 million to their net worth. I also helped them save over $3 million in taxes. One day, I realized that I didn't have one client that was under 50 years old. 495 of my 500 millionaire clients were 65-year-old white men. Then I made a decision. I wanted to help ensure that younger, high-income earners were on track for financial independence. I started offering financial educational seminars to professionals in New York City. After hosting these lunch and learns for the members of professional organizations, I noticed that these high-income earners had the same money problems. These high-income earners were not on track to become financially independent. In fact, they were in an exhausting cycle of earning and spending and more earning and more spending. Let's be clear. These are people who are high achieving and what most would call successful. These are not people who had low credit scores or shopping addictions. They were simply people who had never been taught how to maximize and manage their money properly. I created the term emerging wealthy to describe this high achieving, high earning, but not knowing enough to keep more group of people. Not knowing was costing them millions. These high income earners were literally leaving millions on the table because of what they did not know. At that time, I had no idea why there was such a distinct disconnect between earning money and keeping it. I decided to understand what my wealthy clients were doing that high income earners were not. So I went back to my 500 millionaire clients to conduct a survey to get their secrets to money success. My assumption was that if they had accumulated multiple millions of dollars, then they had insight that could help individuals seeking financial freedom. I asked each of them 3 questions. 1, how did you build your wealth? 2, how do you keep your wealth? And 3, tell me something that you know for sure about wealth. Fortunate to have this level of clarity about financial security, I share these insider secrets with my financial seminar audiences of high income earners. As I reviewed the 500 Millionaire client survey results, 5 themes emerged from every one of my clients. My wealthy clients attributed their financial success to 5 consistent behaviors. Then I polled my audiences, asking whether they executed these 5 wealthy behaviors. Of over 2,500 high income earners, only 3 individuals embodied 2 of the 5 wealthy behaviors. Not one of the 2,500 embodied all 5 wealthy behaviors. I was absolutely stunned, and yet I knew I had cracked the wealth code. The only difference between rich and broke is how you behave. Wealthy people behave differently than high income earners. I knew in that moment that I could help high income earners turn their hard earned income into worth, wealth, and freedom. Hence, Behaving Wealthy was born. My firm, Behaving Wealthy, is dedicated to helping high income earners create the 5 behaviors of my wealthy clients. I renamed those 5 wealthy behaviors the money habits. The only difference between rich and broke is how you behave. You must choose. Either you embody the money habits or you do not. Building the money habits saves you from the exhausting cycle of earning and spending. If you choose to do nothing and maintain your current financial state, then you will continue not to have enough to show for your hard work. I am committed to teaching you how to create the 5 money habits, which is how you behave wealthy. That's why I named my company Behaving Wealthy. Who do you have to be to have wealth? Do you get it? You have to be or embody the money habits to have wealth. Leave your old money habits in the past because those cause money shame, money worry, and money anxiety. Instead, choose the journey to turn your high income into high assets and a high net worth. The 5 money habits are absolutely critical to you turning income into worth, wealth, and freedom. In the next episode, I will explain the 5 money habits in depth so that you can start your shift. I shared my money story with you so that you can benefit from what I've learned from working with millionaires. It's time to do what rich people do. Start behaving wealthy. Today's rich behavior is a baby step. Today's rich behavior is to set an alarm on your phone for every Friday to listen to the new episode of the High Worth Shift podcast. In exchange for your time, my promise to you is in every episode to give you one 10-minute rich behavior that can yield you 3 times richer results. That gives you a 300% return on your time spent with me. Now that you know today's rich behavior, to set a weekly alarm to listen to the High Worth Shift podcast every Friday, it's time to take your baby step. I know you're worth it, and I want you to know you're worth it. Most importantly, I want you to behave like you're worth it. If you love what you learned today, please be sure to hit the follow button so you never miss a future episode, and leave a review to help me reach even more listeners just like you, looking to maximize and turn their hard-earned income into more. The High Worth Shift podcast is created and copywritten in partnership with Robin A. Young and Behaving Wealthy. Be sure to rate, review, and follow this show on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts. Especially be sure to rate, review, and follow this podcast if you really liked it. Thank you for spending your valuable time with me today. Talk to you next week.